Hello. So this weekend I was in Stevenage for Stevenage April 2024 and it was a pretty good competition. I set some personal records, I got to meet some cool people, ended up judging Tymon'S 4.84 European record, ended up in the thumbnail of his video. I judged the 3 majority solves in the average. I was the only other person basically front and centre when Tymon got his amazing average and everyone started cheering and clapping. And I definitely knew what was happening. I definitely didn't have no clue what was going on and why everyone was, freaking out, including Tymon himself. So it was a pretty good weekend, I guess. I just want to say, in case you are watching Tymon, first of all, huge congrats for your average. Well done. It was absolutely crazy, not only to see in person with my own eyes, like 2 feet away from you, but also just in general. I don't know how you do it, and it is amazing. The solve was absolutely crazy. Someone's uploaded a reconstruction, and looking at them, I can't believe that you can see so much in inspection. It's ridiculous. It's like a robot. Also, just thank you for leaving me in the thumbnail. That was nice of you. Didn't have to, but that was nice. The whole thing was kind of a blur in my memory because Saturday night I felt like really ill. I was fine all Saturday, comp day, and then Saturday night I just felt like so horribly ill, and I continued to feel horribly ill throughout Sunday. I knew on Sunday I was judging Tymon'S group, and I was kind of like joking on, like, oh, what if I judged the record average? My head was kind of like full of shit, so the whole time I wasn't really processing what was going on. I was kind of just focused on trying to be a good judge for Tymon because all day people were kind of obsessing over him. It was mainly the kids, like the kids were sort of crowding around him when he was like solving and trying to practice, and I didn't know like whether to feel bad or if it was just like that's just what happens. I didn't know if he was bothered or if he wasn't, but I can imagine it was probably a bit stressful for Tymon. Obviously he's got a lot of pressure when it comes to competing, and he had a lot of people like staring at him, watching him. I mean, God, you saw the crowd in the video. There was a lot of people watching, and the fact that he managed to pull the record off with that crowd is insane. I think that's probably the most impressive part of it. The way that he's able to just cancel everything out and just focus on the solve is absolutely crazy, and I feel so privileged to have been able to see that in person. All day there was kind of some issues with judging because there were a lot of kids on the judging stand, and there's nothing wrong with kids judging, just sometimes they might not understand the rules as well, and they might not sort of see the importance of like following them really strictly. But for the average competitor, it's not like a huge biggie if something goes kind of wrong, but for someone like Tymon who's sponsored to do these things and he's paid to travel the world and compete at these events to try and break records, it's really important that things are done right. The scrambles have to be done right, the judging has to be done right, the regulations, the timer, everything. Because if not, it invalidates the whole thing, and Tymon'S solves especially going to be getting scrutinised and investigated more closely than every other average Joe solves. When I thought he was getting called up to my judging station, I was just like, right, yeah, of course, yeah, it's Tymon, but like, Tymon is just a person, just like everyone else. Like, don't, oh my God, it's Tymon, freak out, just judge him, be good. Especially, I was trying to especially hard to be a good judge, just considering the fact that I knew that this is important for him. Can you imagine if I had gotten something wrong and he had to redo a solve? I would have been really embarrassed. So that's why, like, you can kind of see in the video that I'm kind of like staring at him like this while he was like, getting ready for the solve, because I was just wanting to make sure I caught the exact moment when he said I'm ready, and that I wasn't off guard by the crowd or him, being in the flesh. So that's why I was like sort of staring at him, really just trying to make sure I was focused and getting the I'm ready, taking off the cube, starting the timer, calling out 8 seconds when it happened, because in that moment it's really easy to be distracted a bit, like not starstruck, but you know what I mean. But you'll notice I did kind of watch most of the solves, but I think especially with the last one, the one where he knew he got the average, I didn't really watch it, and that's because again, like, I just wanted to be as comfortable as possible for him, because like he got a count to 4.1. I knew it was going to be good, but he had the whole crowd there. I didn't want him to feel like everyone was staring at him, including the judge. I was the person who was right there in front of him, so I kind of like looked away and just looked at the timer so that he wouldn't feel more stared at. I don't know why I thought I'd make a difference, considering there was literally 200 people staring right at him. Didn't matter where I was, but he gets the solve and then he starts freaking out, and then everyone else starts freaking out, and I was like, right, 5.1, nice. I got the paper ready and I saw he was kind of still having a moment, and I was like looking around, like, oh wow, this is well done. I did a little kind of like a half clap, and then like when he came back up, I was like, sign, I was like, make sure you get it signed now, and I was like, nice job. But I didn't know what had happened. Like I knew in my head that count of 4.1s was really good, but I had no idea that it was going to break his average. Obviously he knew and everyone else knew, but I was on the judging station. It's not like I was calculating the average, so I was just kind of like, oh yeah, 5.1. I guess I should have assumed that when he freaked out that it was good, but I just thought he was just like, oh yes, another good solve. The next one could be the average. I didn't know that was the solve. I think the best way to describe it is like surreal. It was pretty sick. And also like every time I go back and watch the video, I'm like, that's my face in the thumbnail, that's me in the video, just casually just judging his best ever performance in competition. No biggie. You know, that's a pretty important moment for him, and I was in it. It's really weird when you realise how like that these things that happen are real, and people like Timon are real, you know. I always had like some kind of smidgen of disbelief when I used to watch his world record average that like, is Timon even a real person? And then now sat in front of him judging his averages and watching him getting 4-second solves, and it's like, it's crazy. Other than that, the competition was really good. The second day, besides the average, was actually pretty bad for me because, again, I was really ill. And it only got worse as the day went on. You know, obviously, Timon's average was in round 1, and that's when I was feeling the best. Round 2 onwards, I got progressively worse. And by the third average, I don't think it was my worst. But, I mean, you can look at my times, and I was just feeling so ill and so unwell. I finished my final 3x3 solve, and I was like, right, that's me done for the day. We're packed up and we left.
Let's get it over with. I want to go home. I'm absolutely knackered, right. Okay. I really thought I +2 that one. I really thought. Just want to go. Right. Thank you, Judge.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Judge. Can I take a picture? I've got.
Yeah, but if you are seeing this by any chance, Timon, I just wanted to like say congrats, and like I'm so proud. That was amazing. I'm very glad that I was able to be a part of it, even though it's not about me at all. I took loads of clips at Stevenage. I'm going to be posting like a full video about the thingy. Yeah, very strange, fun moment, I guess. being in the spotlight like that, even though it's not me in the spotlight, it's Timon, and it should be, but it's just it's kind of like funny to see, like, you know, Timon did this really cool thing, and I'm just in the corner, just like. I was speaking to the judge on the table across from us, and I was like, do you know what the average was? And he was like, oh, I think it's a 4.84. And I was like, hang on, isn't that like world record 2? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh. And in that moment, I was like, shit. I should have gave a better reaction, but I was just kind of like, oh, 5.1, write that down. It was just so cool to see it in person. It kind of like, I know it sounds funny, but it kind of makes me want to compete more and try harder, because like, you know, all I see is Timon solving and counting 4.1s, right? But, you know, you don't see all of the effort and work that goes into it. Like, it's so impressive. It really is. And I'd like to be that impressive one day, you know? And seeing it up and close in person, it just kind of confirms that, like, it's possible for me as well. Because, like, Timon is just a human being like everyone else is. We're all capable of the same things. It's just that he's putting the work in and we haven't. It just kind of makes me want to try and be that good. Not that I will, because I still can't even plan my full cross, hence why I got, you know, a 14 average when I averaged 12 at home. Unless I get like a really sick record, a world record one day, I don't think anything's gonna top that. I mean, how do you top that? In like, oh, what's the coolest thing that's happened to you? Did you get like double last layer skip? Did you know, do this? Did you judge Timon's European record? No, but I did. But like, Timon, if you are watching, I'm sorry I didn't come and speak to you afterwards. I did plan to. I was going to kind of come up to you and be like, hi Timon, it was such a pleasure to judge, congrats, and I was going to shake your hand. But after the commotion, everyone was very eager to say hello as well, understandably. And you were obviously then, you know, straight back to getting busy with grinding for 5x5, which obviously you needed because you broke the record for 5x5 as well. So huge congrats. If I ever see you in comp again, I will come up and say hello. And yeah, I'm so glad to have judged you. It was an absolute pleasure, and you are amazing. Yeah, I can't beat that. I can't beat that. So yeah, bye. Also, someone in the comments said, why did the judge in the first solve look like an Irish Luke Garrett? I kind of see it. And also, Luke's commented on that video, so Luke has seen my face. So I wonder if Luke sees it too. Luke? Irish? I mean, I'm not Irish, but like, Irish Luke Garrett? Are we twins? From continents? I don't know. Bye.